Wives of the River, a tale of love and boundaries. In the heart of Cameroon, I met him, a brilliant medical student who shared my passion for healing. We were both in university, studying medicine, two souls destined to cross paths. I thought he was the perfect man, but little did I know that my journey with him would lead me into a world beyond human comprehension. After graduation, he told me he had to leave the country for further studies. But before he left, he introduced me to his mother, hoping for her blessing. To my surprise, she didn't welcome me with open arms, and neither did his two sisters. Their coldness was hard to ignore. I assumed it was the usual jealousy from his family. He was the only son, after all, and marriage would mean less time for them. But I couldn't have been more wrong. It was only when I found out the truth that I realized how little I knew about my husband and his family. The truth, however, was a truth I wasn't prepared to accept. Upon his return to Cameroon, my husband suggested we visit his family. I was eager to meet them, but there was a strange reluctance in his voice. He had not spoken to them for years, yet they knew he was coming. When we arrived, his mother greeted him with unsettling words, "Your wives have been waiting for you, and your children are here." Confused, I confronted him. "Wives? What do you mean?" I asked. But my husband stayed silent, his face pale. His mother then revealed a shocking truth: "Your husband was given to me by the river goddess. His two sisters are not just his siblings, they are his river wives." The words felt like a punch to the stomach. His sisters were not merely close to him, there was a spiritual and mystical bond between them, a bond one could never have imagined. My mother-in-law gave me an impossible choice: leave or accept the truth and the conditions that came with it. But love, it seemed, had already bound me. I chose to stay. The very next day, I was introduced to my husband's river parents, beings I had never believed existed. The journey to meet them was strange. Through waters that seemed alive, we traveled in the mouth of a massive whale. When we arrived at the depths of the sea, I met beings unlike anything I had imagined. My husband's river parents, regal and ancient, welcomed me into their world, but there was one condition: my husband could not return to the land without all three of his wives. His river wives were not mere figures, they were part of his destiny, a destiny I now had to accept. Back on land, we lived in a grand house, my husband, his two river wives, and I. But there were strange rules that governed our household. Whenever my husband and I shared intimacy, his two sisters, his river wives, had to join us. It was unnatural, but I had agreed to the conditions. I had no choice. Then, I gave birth to my first child, a boy, followed by another, and then a third. But as they grew, I began to notice something bizarre. They looked identical, three boys who could have been triplets. Their faces, their mannerisms, everything was the same. Concerned, I took them to a doctor, asking for a DNA test. To my shock, the doctor called me, confused, saying, "Why did you bring blood from just one child in 3 different tubes?" I was stunned. I had no idea what to think. My children were not just siblings, they were the same child, born 3 times. But the strange occurrences didn't stop there. Every time my husband and I were together, my children watched. I confronted him about it. "Why do they watch us?" I asked. His reply was chilling: "They are adults in the river world, and it's natural for them to observe. It is part of who they are." Regret began to shadow me. The life I had chosen for love was not the life I had envisioned. I had traded my freedom, my sense of self, for a love that was far from normal. But it was too late to turn back. The bond between my husband, his river wives, and me had already been sealed. I wish, sometimes, that I could go back, erase the choices I made, and walk a different path. But the river world doesn't offer such luxuries. I am here now, bound by forces beyond my understanding, and all I can do is live with the consequences of a love that transcends the earthly world.